Hi, I am Selva Prabhakaran. In this one, we will try to understand the different types of data sets that you will encounter in the world of statistics. Now, the whole purpose of doing all of this or understanding all of this is in statistics, you are going to be working with data sets. Typically, something that looks like this. Here we have the fields x1, x2, x3, so on and so forth. You have these columns. We call these columns as features. x1 might represent age, x2 might represent sex, salary, location, tenure, so on and so forth. Now you have all these fields. Just by looking at the various features present in the data, you should be able to quickly identify or quickly make an intuition of what type of data each of these features or each of these columns represent. That understanding you should quickly and immediately get just after looking at the data. That's the whole goal of doing this particular lesson as such. Let's get to the topic. So on a high level, there are two types of data in statistics. One is the qualitative data, also called as the categorical data. The other is quantitative data, simply called as the numeric data. Now, under qualitative data, under categorical data, you have the nominal data. It means that particular data does not have any intrinsic ordering or intrinsic meaning order behind it. For example, gender, it can have the value male and female. Likewise, marital status, ethnicity, there is no intrinsic ordering between the different values of these variables. Whereas, look at ordinal data, consider survey responses. It may have values such as satisfied, very satisfied, not satisfied, neutral, something like that. Now, those responses, those individual values will have some sort of an internal ordering behind it. Same goes for grades. There's an ordering, intrinsic ordering to the various grades A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Same goes for military rank also. So that's the difference between nominal versus ordinal data. Coming to numeric or quantitative data, on the one hand, you have the discrete data. For example, number of family members, number of employees, number of votes. There are limited number of values these could take, but these are all numeric values. That's what we refer to as discrete data. All right. On the other hand, we have another type of numeric data, which is continuous data. This could be something like the height of people, weight of people, electricity consumption, so on and so forth. Typically, these can take any real numbered values. Those kind of features are called continuous data. So that's all there is to it. These are the four different types of data that you are going to be encountering in statistics. Now, besides the types of data, let's also try to understand the different types of data sets. There are two types: panel data. Under panel data, you have time series data and cross-sectional data, right? On high level, there is panel data and there is longitudinal data. We will look at it one by one. So under panel data, you have time series data. What this represents is time series data captures a particular value. It can be one value, it can be more than one value also. It can be, so here we have x1, you can have x2, x3, x4, so many variables also. But the idea is for a particular item or individual, which we call as the ID variable here. So all these values are one. For the same individual, we are measuring that particular value or feature at various points in time. That is what we refer to as time series data. All right. Now, can you think of what could be a real world example of a time series data? Yes, for example, like stocks data, weather data, these kind of data are typically referred to as time series data or typically the examples of time series data. Alternately, we also have something called cross-sectional data. Now, in time series data, the individual is fixed. For example, the stock price of a certain company, that company is fixed here. On the other hand, in cross-sectional data, the time is fixed. At a particular point in time, we are measuring a particular variable, here in this case x1, we are measuring that variable for different individuals or items. For example, say you have various cars in a garage, let's say, or in a parking lot, and you are measuring the mileage of all the different cars in a parking lot at a particular point in time. That can be an example of cross-sectional data because you are measuring at one point in time. Time does not vary here, right? But you are taking measurements of multiple different items. That is what we refer to as cross-sectional data. So that now you understand the difference between these two. In time series data, the individual or the item is constant, whereas in cross-sectional data, the time is constant. That's the primary difference between these two types of data. Now, longitudinal data, on the other hand, is similar to time series. It's sort of a combination of both time series and cross-sectional. So it's similar to time series because you are measuring the values of an item or an individual at various points in time. At the same time, you are measuring this these values at various points in time for multiple individuals also. So here we have individuals 1, 2, 1 and 2. There can be many more individuals. Similarly, you can be measuring multiple different variables. Here we are showing x1 and x2. There could be many more variables also. So that is the fundamental difference. So it sort of combines time series and cross-sectional data. Now, you might hear the term longitudinal study, which is nothing but you are studying the various features for multiple individuals at different points in time over a longer duration of time. That is what we refer to as longitudinal study, which will typically involve the use of longitudinal data. Hope that makes sense. Now, if this concept is clear, let's do a quick exercise. Here I have a spreadsheet that contains the data for auto MPG dataset. You can easily find this dataset if you simply search Google, do a Google search for auto MPG. It contains the data for various different car names. These are all individual cars. For these cars, it contains the parameters such as mileage per gallon, cylinders, number of cylinders, displacement, horsepower, and so on. Now, looking at this data, for each of these features, can you identify what type of data it is? We looked at nominal, ordinal, discrete, and continuous. Which of these 4 types each of these features belong to? So that is the first activity. Second thing that you want to determine is what kind of a data set this particular data set it is. So it could either be panel data set, that is within panel data, it can either be time series data, it could also be cross-sectional data or a longitudinal data. What kind of a data set this particular data set is? If you're able to mentally answer this, then you are clear with this lesson.